everyone. We are here with Jen, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear her story. She bought her very first out-of-state rental property, and I want you guys to hear all about her journey and all of that and how she got it. But first, Jen, why don't you tell everybody, where you live, what you do for work, and kind of what got you interested in wanting to invest in rental properties in the first place? Like, what's your why?
So my husband and I live in Southern California, where it's very expensive to live. I do background checks. My husband's in law enforcement. And kind of our why is he actually can retire pretty early, and he really wants to. But with that, being in California, it's hard. And I also don't maybe want to continue to work full time when he's retired full time. So our why is just when he does retire, we want to have options. We want to have cash flow coming in. We're not going to have health insurance anymore, which is really expensive. And we just need some other sources of income so that we have options so we can move out of state, we can stay here, we can figure it out when we get there. But just having our W-2 jobs isn't going to work with that.
Right. What type of research, have you done prior to joining the program as far as getting yourself ready to buy rental properties? And what about that wasn't enough for you? Like, how come you still weren't able to kind of take the leap and buy your first rental on your own?
So I started with Bigger Pockets. I listened to a lot of their podcasts. I still listen to all their podcasts. I read a couple of the books. I joined the pro membership so I could have access to the calculators and the tools. And it's great. It really does give you a lot of information, but it doesn't walk you through the actual process. And there's a lot of people that are really successful and they've done it a million times and they make it sound so easy, but I know that it's not so easy. And they have the capital and they have the income to where if they make a mistake, it's okay, but I don't. So if I make a mistake, it's a lot of our hard work and our hard money that's gone. So I really needed someone that was going to hold my hand the entire way and make sure I wasn't making those mistakes, because something that may look good on paper may not actually work. And I don't see all of that, where you were really helpful in showing me that.
What would you say was the most beneficial part of the program? We did, there was the course, there was coaching calls and homework and all of that. What would you say, like something you definitely couldn't have done without? The main thing that kind of helped you to get your first property. What would you say that was?
One of the best things you gave me were questions to ask people to start my team. The questions to ask a property manager, the real estate agent. I had no idea what I should be asking them. I wouldn't have had a clue. And you gave me so many great questions that I just never would have come up with myself or thought of, because I haven't done this before. So having that experience from you to be able to find people who had the right answers was really helpful.
Awesome, thanks. So let's talk about your first deal. Tell everyone first about the process you went through or any hurdles for finding a market and how you landed on where you landed on. Let's start with that.
So I looked at a couple of different markets, and one of them I knew a realtor and she's an investor, but when I ran the numbers, the rents just don't work for the prices. I looked at a couple other places, but I just didn't have any contacts there, and I knew starting from scratch would be a little more difficult. We have several friends who currently invest in Eastern Tennessee, Chattanooga area, and I didn't want to copy them, but looking in the area and running the numbers, I see why they invest there. It works. They have the contacts that we can use. So that's how we kind of narrowed down that area, was to be able to use an agent that has already been vetted with our friends and a property manager, and having them let us know that it's a good spot. So
Yeah, I love it. So tell us about your house that you got and any problems with it. People love to hear problems. I mean, not everything is always roses. So, don't leave anything out, and tell us about the numbers and, kind of what's going on with it now.
okay, so we learned that in Chattanooga, it's right on the border of Georgia, and homes that are just on the border of Georgia are a little bit more affordable, but they still rent for great prices. So that was kind of why I was looking in the Rossville area. I also decided early on to only look for 3 bedrooms. It really seemed to make a big difference in rental pricing, having that 3rd bedroom. So anytime I search, I only search for 3 bedrooms. So this 3 bedroom, 2 house came up. It looked pretty renovated, but it wasn't a flip. So it wasn't someone that was trying to make a whole bunch of money and did a crappy job flipping it. So with the help of you getting a HELOC on our primary house, we were able to make an all cash offer for this house, which was what got us the deal. They didn't have any other cash offers. So that was great. There was a lot that came back in the inspection that was really scary. I do wish I had maybe paid attention a little bit more to some of that I think I thought would be okay and maybe now aren't. We're having some HVAC issues. The AC doesn't seem to be working, and I went back to the inspection and found out they actually never even tested the AC.
Because it was winter.
Yeah, it was winter. They tested the furnace, and I read all of that, and then the next line said AC was never even tested, and I never saw that. So it's something I'm going to learn from with that. We knew it was an older system and it's going to be replaced.
Yeah.
We're keeping that in mind too. If it is an older home, it's going to need maintenance. So we know that we're going to be prepared for that.
Yeah. So tell us the numbers on the house. So you bought it all cash with your HELOC, which is pretty cool. So everyone out there that is, has some equity in their home and would like to be competitive and make an all cash offer, you can do that with equity in your home, which is pretty fantastic. So tell us about the numbers on the house.
So we offered 151 cash. They were asking 150. After some negotiations after the inspection, we got it for 148 and some change. And we put several thousand into fixing it. Just some crawl space stuff. Again, the HVAC furnace, it needed some painting because it wasn't a complete flip. So it needed a few things, like it didn't have closet doors or blinds, which is something I'm going to look at the next house too to see, okay, if it doesn't have closet doors, I know what that's going to cost me, and blinds.
Yep.
So we've gotten all fixed up, and then we just, after 2 months, got it rented out for $1,500 a month. So
yay!
Yeah, we still have it in our HELOC because rates are still high, and we have a HELOC, we can lock the rate. So that's been great because we know that that isn't going to change. And then as soon as rates do go down, we'll refi it into a conventional 30-year loan and have an even better rate and even better cash flow. So that'll be great.
Yep, that's awesome. So you guys are what? Did you say 380 or 354 or something like that a month for cash flow right now?
Yeah, just a little under 400.
400, yeah. I wrote it down somewhere. Okay. I was like, gotta move my Zoom to find it. Well, that is really cool because
not even using any, we haven't actually used any cash down. We just use 100% HELOC. So that'll be great once we refi and get our numbers even better.
That is nice because you don't have any money out of your own pocket. Everything came from your equity in your home.
Yeah.
And even the rate that you have on that is pretty high. It's like 7%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's still cash flow. So people are like, cash flow 70. Yes, you can. And, once you refi out of that, it's going to be even better cash flow. So that's going to be really cool. What are your plans next? Are you already looking for your next property? I mean, I already know this answer, but
Yes, I am. No, it's kind of addicting. It's super fun. I know that I think each deal I do will now get better because I'm going to learn from the ones that we've done. I still have all the tools that you gave us and access to all those questions I need to ask people and all the calculators and everything I need to run numbers. So that's going to be fantastic. But yeah, we're already ready for our next one.
Oh my God, I love it. So if you had any advice for someone watching this video that's thinking they might want to join my coaching program, would you tell them that it's worth it? Or would you tell them no?
No, it's definitely worth it. if you don't have someone in your inner circle to literally hold your hand and walk you through it, what, this is a fantastic option to have you, and you're now like in our inner circle. So it's nice to have someone to rely on and who's gonna help you the entire way and make sure you aren't making the wrong decision. Because I showed you a house that was so great one time, and I said, this house looks fantastic and you're great. Look at the Google Street Map and see what's next door. And we determined it was the best house on the worst block. And
Yeah, I remember that one.
that could have been a big mistake.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I love what I do, and I sure have really loved helping you, Jen. It's been great. You've been a fantastic student, and students are always the best when they just do what you say, follow all the rules and all the guidelines. You did a really great job with your property. You found a fantastic market and area. You even went to go visit last weekend, which has really helped out. And I know things are going to go really well for you in the future. Just keep buying rental properties. And like we talked about for scaling, just cash out refi, do BRRRR, seller finance. There's a lot of different options you can do without having to involve private money and kind of share all those rewards. Some people like to do it on their own and not have to share. That's me. But anyways, Jen, any last words to anybody watching that you want to give? Any last advice?
I just think I definitely was in analysis paralysis with, I think, most people out there, and this program is really what is going to help you take that next step. And we wouldn't have this house if we didn't do this program. I would have just been way too scared to do this. So it's really helpful for taking that next step.